Welcome back to math. Today we're going to be doing module 2, lesson 1. It's multiplying multi-digit whole numbers and multiples of 10 using a place value pattern and the distributive and associative properties. So I have my couple of problems up here. We have 4 times 30. You need to think 4 ones. So we're going to write that down. 4 ones. What would that be when I multiplied? It would be 4 times 1. Excellent. Then we're going to multiply it. And we've got 3 tens, right? 3 tens. So what are we going to multiply there?
3 times 10.
3 times 10. Excellent. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our commutative property, and we're going to move some things around. So what would we want to move around here? Well, we can move the 4 and the 3 together, right? Those are easy to multiply. 4 times 3. And then we're going to move the 1 with the 10. Now that makes it a lot easier for us to work this problem, doesn't it?
Yes.
And it also explains the trick that I explained in my last video. Remember I said 3 times 4 equals 12. How many zeros do we have? We have 1. We got 120, right?
Yes.
Remember I said that was the trick? This is the explanation for the trick. So if your teacher says, I don't want to hear the trick, I want to know how to do it, this is how you want to do it. So we just took our numbers, we used
Distributive?
well, we used commutative properties, then we used our associative properties to put them into groups. So now we have 2 groups. Now 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down the multiplication sign.
10.
1 times 10 is 10. And then we have 12 times 10 is 120. That's how we get that trick. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let me pull this guy off, and that gives us how many tens? 12 tens, is that correct?
Yes.
And 12 tens is 120, isn't it?
Yes.
See how easy that is?
Yes.
All right, let's do this other one. Think of 43 ones. If we were thinking of 43 ones, we could put it in our, we'll distribute it, and our distributing would be 20, wow, 43 times 1 times, and then we're going to distribute our 30. It's 3 times 10. Good job. That's why it says, think of 43 ones, 43 times 1, and 3 tens. 3 times 10, that's distributive property right there. That's what we just did. Now let's use a commutative property. Commutative means to move. We're going to move things around. We're not going to change our numbers. We're just going to move our numbers around, because in multiplying, it doesn't really matter, does it? So, what are we going to move together?
43 times 3.
43 times 3. And then we will put the 1 times 10, right? Okay. So, 3 times 3 is
6.
9, right? And 3 times 4,
12.
12. So this is 129, isn't it?
Yes.
Bring down a multiplication sign, and 1 times 10 is
10.
So this is going to give us how many tens? 129 tens, right?
Yeah, which would be 1,290.
Good job. Nicely done. Good work. So it's really not very hard once you think of it that way. And I know I'm going through this pretty fast. You're more than welcome to take your time and to go back over or hit pause and keep writing things down. We find this in our book, 3,500. Is that equal to 5 tens times 7 tens? Well, let's distribute this thing out. What's 5 tens? We could write it out as parentheses 5 times 10, and what's the 7 tens? 7 times 10, right? So we distributed that out. And we'll just put our number here of 35. How many zeros are in 100? 2. So I'm going to put mine here. Let's see if these equal each other. You want to?
Yes.
All right. So 5 times 10 would be 50. And 7 times 10 would be 70, right? And we know that 5 times 7 is 35. And we have our 2 zeros, right? Are those equal?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Cool, huh? Another way to have thought of it would be like this. I'm going to erase this part. And I could say, okay, I have 5 tens, right?
Yes.
Times 7 tens, right?
50.
And I have 2 zeros here. I have 2 zeros here, right?
Yes.
And then 5 times 7 is 35. So that gives us the 2 zeros, right? Now I'm going to do that same kind of thing. I'm going to do it right here, okay? So here's how I'm going to do it. You ready? Okay, I got a 77 here, is that correct?
Yes.
And I got a 77 right here, right?
Yes.
So far I've got the same thing. I got a 77 and a 77. I have a what here in this 0? What do I have? I do, but we've been writing it as 77 times 10, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to pull this 10 and put it down here with this guy. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Sure. Because I am doing what property? I am doing
Community.
commutative, right. I'm commuting, I'm moving. Okay? So far so good, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that takes care of this, and that takes care of this one and this 77, right?
Yes.
Now I have a 6, so I should have made this a little bit bigger. This is times 6, right? Moving that 6 down here. And if I take my 6 and I move it over here, right?
Yes.
Do I have a problem? Well, I do, because this is really 6 times what's this guy over here on the end? Ah, so I have to put a what number there?
10.
A 10. Is that, are you with me?
Yes.
So guess what? Are these even just by using our commutative property? Are these equal?
No.
77 10 times 10. We got a 77 times 10 here, right? But we got a times 6 here. We don't have any more 10s, do we?
No.
But we have a 6 here and a 10 here.
Yeah.
Are these going to be equal?
No.
No. Which one's larger? The
77.
left one or the right one?
Right.
Yeah, this one's going to be 1 0 bigger, huh? Nice job, you guys. So if we were going to put our greater than less than, we would say less than, huh?
Yes.
This one is less than that one.
Yeah.
It is not equal, right? So this would be false, wouldn't it?
Yes.
All right. So that's how you do those kinds of problems. Pretty easy. We didn't even have to solve it, did we?
No.
Did we have to give an answer? No. Okay, let's take this one. This is called what? What did I do? What did I just show you right here? This is distributive property, right? We distributed that 123 and we distributed it out. That's what that is. When we commute, we're doing what? We're moving our numbers around, right?
Yeah.
And when we use associative means that we're putting what? Parentheses and regrouping, right?
Wait, that's what is
That's
that
called associative property.
Associate.
Associative. That's right. All right. I love math.